back online. Fantastic. Okay, right, let's start this off properly. Welcome to British Cook. Thank you so much for joining me on the live stream. What I'm going to be doing tonight is showing you how to make naan breads at home. Really simple and really quick to make as well. So, what you can do with these naan breads, they taste really good. They're lovely, fluffy, they rise quite well. There's a couple of different ways to make them, but I'm going to be showing you just a few tonight. I'm going to be showing you how to make plain naan, Peshwari naan, and also make cheese stuffed naan as well. I've got a bit of a confession to make about that later, but you know, it's one of those things, unfortunately. What I'm going to do, first of all, just have a real quick little chat, make sure people can actually see the live stream, because there's been a couple of notification errors, and I want to make sure I don't start cooking stuff until I've got a couple of people here. So, first things first, because the last little live stream didn't work at all, I'm going to go back through the ingredients, because last time I did this, people said sometimes I spoke too quickly. Probably doing it again now. And also that the ingredients were a little bit, not all over the place, but I'm going to put them in one place, which is right here at the beginning. So if you want to make this later on, and you've watched the live stream, come back, and this is where you can get the ingredients from. The ingredients are, bear with me seconds. The ingredients are 150 millimeters of milk, and what I'm going to do I'm going to do the ingredients. I'm going to put the cup amounts in the description afterwards. So if you're watching this on replay, I'll have the American cups as well. So you need to start off with 150 millimeters of milk, and we'll warm that milk, but I'll go through that later. We need 450 grams of plain flour. We need 2 teaspoons of caster sugar. We need 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. Wait one. It's saying I'm offline a minute. Am I offline or not? So, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. That's fantastic. I keep saying online or offline. And 1 egg. Okay, so I'm going to try my best now to just read through this in one go and make sure that, yeah, millimeters, okay, brilliant. So Julie's saying that millimeters are good. So obviously I'll do that. What I'll do is I'll read through this one more time without distracting myself while the stream's going offline. Do apologise. So ingredients are 150 millimeters of warm milk. I'll show you how to warm the milk really quickly. That's really simple. 2 teaspoons of caster sugar, 2 teaspoons of dried yeast, 450 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and 150 millimeters of natural yogurt, and 1 egg as well. So it's going to be really, really easy to do. So who's here? Do me a favour, just say a quick hello so that pops back up. So I've got Emma, Lizzie, Julie, and some other people I think as well. Hey, how's your weekends been? Have you all had a nice weekend? Hi Suzanne, hi Claudia. Claudia, lovely to see you. Suzanne, fantastic to see you as well. Really pleased you're here. I've just been going through the ingredients on the naan breads. What I'm going to do is put that all up in the description. So, you know, when you come back to this, you'll be able to see where it is. I think I need coffee. I feel so all over it tonight. Yeah, Peshwari naan will be good. It's going to be fantastic. So, okay. Is anyone cooking along with me tonight? I guess not. Probably here just to be friendly. Okay, so what we're going to do is take you over to where the ingredients are. And again, I'll repeat them again as we go through. Yeah, coffee sounds good. You got fajitas. Ah, Suzanne, that sounds fantastic. How are you, Claudia? Have you had a nice weekend? Hang on a second. Let's just play around here and turn it over to there. Hi, Pam. Pam, as always, I'm having a technical nightmare. The internet's terrible here. So, ingredients. We've got, as I said, baking powder, desiccated coconut. This is for the Peshwari. So what I'm going to do is put that to one side for a minute. we've got caster sugar, we've got the oil, we've got dried yeast, and we've got yogurt as well. I'm throwing this around the place. Sacks of sea salt, or sea salt, an egg, and also the 450 grams of flour as well. Really good weekend, thanks, Claudia. Okay, back to my ugly mug. Right, so what we need to do, have to bear with me because this is all still quite new. Put that up there. I look quite tall that way, don't I? Okay, first things first, you want to get the milk. You want to get the milk warmed up, okay? So the first thing you want to be doing is to get 150 millimeters of milk and to put it into a microwavable container. So with the milk, 150 mils of it, put it into a microwavable container and just microwave it for about 10 or 20 seconds. 2 seconds. Yeah, Lizzie, that's a great idea about the phone for landscape. The only problem I had with that last time, it kept disconnecting every time I went to landscape. To landscape. Very funny, Julie. But I did try that last week, and that's where a lot of my problems came because the stream didn't seem to be handling it very well. So I'm gonna stick to this, and then I think later in the week I'll probably do a practice with the other way around. So grab your milk. I'm just looking for a container quickly. Let's have a quick look. It was all around. Okay, that's not going to be any good. Where's that gone? Okay. Do you know, sometimes you put things out and then sometimes someone else moves it, which is not good. So get your measuring thing, whatever it's called. Okay. And what you want to do is get this measuring jug or a measuring jug. Anything that's microwavable, really. You can heat milk obviously on the hob, but this is a little bit simpler, and I'm all about making things simpler. So what we've got here is 150 mils of milk. I'm going to pop that in the microwave for about 20 seconds. 30 seconds is too long. 20 seconds in an 800 watt microwave will warm this to about just above hand warm. That's what we want. So one of the first things we're going to do is combine the yeast with the milk and some sugar to start that yeast really doing its thing, so it really proves really quickly. Bear with me a second. So how is everyone? Okay. Jug, measuring cups. Yeah, that's true. What I'm going to do, as I said, I'll pop it all down in measuring cups when I finish the stream. But yeah, so we've got the milk in the microwave for 20 seconds. That's just going to warm up a little bit, take the edge off. If it's very cold milk, maybe try 30 seconds. But what you want is you want that milk at a nice warm temperature, not really hot, but quite warm. Okay. That's about right. It's just above. I've just popped my finger in there. It's just about right. So you want it quite warm, but not actually really hot. Okay. And to the milk, what we're going to do is be putting first of all 1 teaspoon of caster sugar. I'll tell you what, actually, a quick tip. That's interesting. Quick tip with the sugar, often they don't specify any type of sugar when they're using recipes. If you're going to use yeast or you're trying to make bread, caster sugar works much better for rising. It just seems to work much quicker. So we've got a warm milk. Let's just put that down there. Second. And what you want to do with the warm milk is to add 1 teaspoon of caster sugar, like so. Pop that in there. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of dried yeast to that. So grab a packet of yeast. Can you see that? Yeah, hopefully. And pop that teaspoon in there. Just make them sort of levelish teaspoons. 1 teaspoon in. 2nd teaspoon in. And just a little bit for luck. Because, let's be honest, we want them to rise, don't we? So, that's gone into there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to mix that all together. I'm going to use a fork to mix that. Yeah, so, just replying to a bit of sweet. The yeast is an activated dried yeast. So, it's a dried yeast that normally you can get in the shops in the UK. I'm pretty sure you can get it in America as well. It's just like a sachet yeast. Standard kind of bread making stuff really. And what you do with that is you just get that milk nice and warm, put the sugar in there, put the yeast in there, just stir it, and you're going to see what happens to this yeast over the next 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to be unfortunately diverting for a few minutes to chat to you all, but basically this yeast will expand because we put the sugar in there and the yeast and the milk, and the milk's nice and warm. It's a perfect sort of environment for that yeast to really get going. And that's how we make these naan breads at home. It's really simple. So, while we're doing that, what I'm going to show you, I've already started one of these anyway, but what I'm going to show you is the next stages of what you want to be doing. How is everyone? All right? Okay. We don't, Claudia. We don't really use like fast acting. I think it's just if you go to a supermarket in the UK, it's just dried yeast. It is activated. It does work quite quickly. I would use a fast activated yeast for this one definitely because we're looking to get a rise on that really, really quickly. Bear with me a second. I'm going to put you back into. There we go. There's my old long head. So, what have we got actually being asked here? So the yeast, as I said, is a dried yeast. It's a standard sort of yeast you get in the UK. I think in America you get it in pots or tubs. It's a dried yeast. Hiya Shelley, great to see you here. You thought it was a pot noodle. Well, pot noodle is quite good sometimes, but not right now. It's actually dried yogurt, yeah. So, that is just starting to do its thing. Already within a few minutes you can see it's started to thicken up a little bit. It's already starting to sort of do its thing. I really need to think about this in advance, how I'm going to film things. So, that's that. Then what we need is the 450 grams of flour. So, I've got here flour, which is all being weighed out. Let's go this way. I think I'm going to keep it in one place actually. Okay. I'm getting a message saying that the stream stopped. Can anyone let me know if it has or not? Just getting a message a moment back saying the stream has stopped. Is it still working? Thanks Pam, I really appreciate that. It keeps going off. I'm not sure why. It's when I'm at this end of the kitchen, unfortunately. So I think I should probably think that through a little bit. Okay, so with the flour, you want 450 grams of plain flour. And what we're going to do with that plain flour, excuse me, is if you want to, you can sieve it. I don't bother. I'll tell you why, because generally speaking, when you buy flour nowadays, it's pretty good anyway, unless you've kept somewhere damp for a long time. So we want to just get that and sieve it. Right, thank you very much, Pam. I really appreciate that. And thanks, Lizzie, Claudia, and for everyone telling me it's still actually on. I just keep getting a little bit worried I'm losing it, that's all. Okay, so 450 grams of flour I've got there. I think. What I'm going to do excuse this, I've just been using this to make the one here I made earlier. So with this bowl, I've just been using it to make one, so you don't have to wait for half an hour to see how it proofs. We've got 450 grams of flour goes in there. Now what we want to be doing is putting in the salt. So for the salt we need 1 teaspoon of salt. Excuse me. So 1 good teaspoon of salt just gone in there. And then we want to add to it the baking powder as well. So the baking powder is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And if we get the lid off, he says. Pop that in there. Then what we're going to do is add, do you remember I said 2 teaspoons of caster sugar at the beginning? Well, 1 teaspoon of caster sugar goes into here. Can I ask you, if you're here, do you normally sieve your flour and stuff? I mean, I know a lot of people do. My experience of cooking, generally speaking, if you're making a fine pastry, it would make a big difference. Generally speaking, I think if you're using things like caster sugar, baking powder, just grab a fork and mix it all in, you know. As I said, I've used this just now, this bowl, to make the dough, which is currently rising in a secret location. So when we get to it, I don't have to make you all wait for half an hour for that to rise. It does rise pretty quickly. You can make this recipe in about an hour, all in. Let's have a quick look. Why so much raising agent? Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't really know, but all I know is that it works. This recipe works really well. It's one which I've been using for a while. Yeah, exactly. I think that's it. I mean, the thing with flour, it's a very traditional thing from when flour wasn't very good quality. And when you buy it fresh from a supermarket or from a shop nowadays, it's normally all been done. So it should be pretty good. If it's been kept in a dry area as well, that's really good. So it doesn't, you know, unless it's kept in a damp area, it's not really a massive issue. Okay, so what you need to do is just give that, excuse me, it's a funny angle, isn't it? We're going to give that yeast and sugar and milk just another 5 minutes. So it's starting to bubble up a little bit. I'll just show you that, but it's not quite there. So you want this to really sort of bubble up quite a lot, and it will do, but we need to give about another 5 minutes or so before we do that. So I'm going to move you back over this way and grab myself a quick drink as well. Ooh. So has anyone got any questions at all from what I've been doing so far, or anything you want to ask me in general? I think I should really get myself a coffee. Okay, I'm all wonky. It's pretty close up as well. Okay, let's just quickly go through this a minute. So, hello? Hi. Hello? Have I reconnected yet? Hello? Hello? Let's have a quick look. Hello? Hey, is anyone there at all? Hello? Hi, sorry about that. Can anyone see me at all? Hopefully it's working again. Yeah, Lizzie, if that's you messaging, that's definitely me back live. There were all sorts of glitches with YouTube last night in relation to live streams. Possibly it's happening again this evening. I'm really sorry. But I am still cooking here. So, brilliant. Fantastic. So, Suzanne's here and Julie's here. I really appreciate you still being here. I'm so sorry about this. A little bit of it is out of my control. However, I will do my best to keep the stream going. So what we've done is we said we've made the dry mix. We've mixed that all in the bowl. We've started to mix the yeast and the warm milk and the sugar is fermenting there. It's starting to bubble up a little bit more. Lizzie, if you can see me, it's not back to the past. Hi Claudia, thank you so much for being here. It's not back to the past. I just went to move the camera because I was losing the reception, that's all. Okay. Let's have a quick look. Hello, can anyone see me at all?